What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Corn06. I'm with my boy Rod. You ready to get into these highlights, man?
Yeah, we can do it.
All right. Offense to go score a touchdown and try to keep scoring because you're refusing to kick field goals that
So,
can win the game.
so when you got a team like the Detroit Lions who are 70%, who made 70% of their fourth down tries, why not keep trying it? They made 70% of them
Because
throughout the season.
okay, what does that do in the playoffs? Whatever you do in the regular season doesn't matter in the playoffs.
I know.
That becomes irrelevant.
I mean, they going with the analytics.
Analytics will get you beat. Can't go with
Oh,
analytics. They
gonna
said
stop
Lamar.
Lamar.
They said Lamar. My sister was said that Lamar was crying.
Yeah, he was upset.
That's what
Yeah,
happens, man.
yeah, he was upset.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's not the first time I seen it. I remember back in the day, Cordell Stewart was crying.
Yep.
It was like um he just looked like he wasn't never gonna get back there. You just look at his eyes, it's like he knew he wasn't never gonna get back that far. I just felt like he didn't think he was gonna get that far again. Like this is almost over for me. And really, it pretty much was. I was his last real. That was their last good run with Cordell Stewart at quarterback.
The boy went to the Ravens
Huh?
that boy went to the Ravens and shit faded off into the
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
faded off into the galaxy.
Man, I don't even know what to say about the Super Bowl game, man.
Shit. I can't even predict it because I don't know what's gonna happen. What I say was gonna happen, but the end result didn't even match what actually was supposed to happen.
Oh no,
I just
that's
feel like
too far.
I feel
Yeah.
like Dan Quinn could have knew Dan Quinn. Dan Campbell could have did better.
I told you what I felt like because if you look at the last drive, that last drive, they wouldn't even had to rush down the field to score. They could have took their time, scored just like they scored, and won. That would have been the game.
But
They only needed to score one time. If they would have
what
had the field goals, they only needed to score once. That was the game. That's my point. Since you didn't kick the 2 field goals, you need to score more than one time at the end of the game.
I'm saying is
You had to score twice instead of one time and just ended the game.
You saying if they kick 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's 6
I'm
points.
saying, okay, if they kick one of the field goals, how do we know if they're gonna get back downfield to kick the next field goal? This is what I'm saying.
At the end of the game, at the end of the game, they got to the end zone and they scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you already had it wouldn't have made a tie if they would have made both field goals. It wouldn't have been a tie. They would have won by 3.
But anything could happen between this time. That's what I'm saying.
But we know they scored a touchdown at the end. What you do is you're looking at it from another angle. You're trying to put your team in the best position to win. That's all.
I know that's
you
the
can't
whole
think.
point.
You can't think. Oh, let's just go for it every time because if you go for it, that's a risk versus reward. You screw up. Those are points you can't get back.
It's win or go home.
It doesn't matter. No coach does that. Find me any other coach. They're going to say, "Hey, kick the points. We need the points because that's going to put us in better position at the end of the game to win." Because you don't want reason why going for it is a bad idea because if you go for it, you can't have that opportunity to win the game at the end. That opportunity's gone. Since they went down there and scored a touchdown, they needed another 3 points because they didn't kick the field goals.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I mean, if they made one, it would have been overtime, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You didn't even kick one of them. You decided to go for both times. It made no sense to me. Well, and honestly, you know what's crazy? The one field goal they did make, they thought about not kicking that one. They wouldn't even had the chance to they would have still been losing if they didn't even kick the one. I mean, they would have been further down. They would have had to score 2 touchdowns instead of having to score.
We can't.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't put it out on Dan
Take the
Campbell
points off
because
the board. I wouldn't say they had to score 2 touchdowns. How much they lose? They lost by 3.
yeah,
If they didn't kick the other field goal, they're down another 3 points. They're down 6 points. So instead of having another 3, like if they somehow got the onside kick, then they would have had to score a touchdown if they got the onside kick instead of scoring a field goal to tie it up. So you would have screwed yourself even worse if you didn't go for the first field goal. Those field goals changed the game, man. It changed the game. It's not, yes, a field goal is still technically just like going for the risk versus reward, but you have a higher chance of making the field goal, especially when they went for the first. When they wasn't going to go for the first field goal, that was really right in front of the goal. Why do you even think about that? You should be like, hey man, field goal. That's a short field goal. You telling me your kicker can't make that? That's a problem, man. They need to start looking at special teams, trying to figure out what they're gonna do next year, because this is not gonna work.
I wouldn't put it out on Dan Campbell because the players probably were like, hey, we need to go for this. He probably like, hey, let the players make this decision.
I can't give that. I can't blame that on players because that's not the player's decision. Yeah. That's the coach's decision. The coaches make those decisions. I know. The coach has to think like a coach. He can't think like a player. He can't think, oh, come on, guys. No, he has to think like a coach. Hey, man, we got to win this game. Let's kick the field goal. You're not coaching like a player. You got to coach like a coach. You know what I mean? You can't just keep going for it and going for it and going for it every time. That's how he lost against Dallas. Honestly, if they would have had a better chance, bunk all the, whether that was a penalty or not, bunk all that. They had 3 chances, dog. Why would you keep going for it? Kick the field goal. You would at least tied the game up. You could have got the ball back and won the game. He's not, and that's not a coach I want because he takes chances that can screw you. I don't want him. I take that back. I like him as a coach, but I don't like him. He's too aggressive. There's another coach that used to do that. Guess what his name was? Barry Switzer. Barry Switzer used to be overly aggressive, and he stunk as a coach, and he got fired.
What did his thing at Oklahoma though?
Troy Aikman told him that you coach harder than you was in Oklahoma, huh? He admitted it. He wasn't coaching the same way.
Yeah.
He was being lackadaisical when he was at Dallas. He thought he had all the talent in the world, so why coach him? That's when things started falling apart.
Hey,
not right away. The team held it up for a couple of years, but after that,
yeah,
they didn't have a coach to lean on. Troy had to go off on that. There's footage of that. He said he had to pick up for what Jimmy used to do. He had to be the vocal leader because the coach didn't do nothing. He patted everybody on the butt and be like, just like Jason Garrett. That's not, man. You got to make a different decision. You need a coach that's going to get in there and be like, hey, man, you ain't doing your job. Go sit down over there. Go sit down on that bench, man, because this is not working. People used to be scared when Jimmy was there because Jimmy didn't put up with that nonsense, man.
I mean, like, he probably felt that he already made it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he probably like, what I got to coach them for?
What I do with that other video? Yeah. I'm going to put that back on there. I might as well. This is other video I had. I'll go back and check on it right quick.
That's how some coaches feel. They already made it. So why do I need to coach them? I know that sounds bad, but there's coaches out there that's like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why it's a lot of people that say talent. There's a reason why people be saying talent win championship because coaches don't. Because it's that simple reason right there.
Well, talent, no, because that's not true because a lot of talent don't win nothing. You know, they say talent without hard work. Since you don't have a coach that holds the players accountable, they're not going to win anything.
Well, the stereotype.
If you don't have a coach, huh?
The stereotype around black coaches is they got all the talent. That's why they win. It's not them being the coach. It's because they got all the talent.
That's not true because The most talented teams, they often get knocked out in the playoffs, man. They don't even win a Super Bowl. I've seen tons of teams go to the Super Bowl, not even make it to the Super Bowl. They had the most talented team.
Yeah.
Who honestly believes that I'm not knocking them. They were a good team, but who actually believes that the New York Giants in 2007 had a more talented team than the New England Patriots?
I mean, that catch changed everything.
I mean, they had talent. Don't get it twisted, especially on defense, but more talented than what New England had, especially offensively. Let's just look at offense alone. The Giants are not offensively. They weren't as offensively talented as that New England Patriots team.
Not even defensively. But
I mean, they had Michael Strahan still. Michael Strahan was one of the best defensive ends that ever played the game, and they had, I believe, Justin Tuck played that year.
They had Antonio Pierce too.
Justin, I don't know if he played in that first Super Bowl. He was in the second one. I'm not sure if he played in the first. I had to go back and, look that up. I'm not sure if he was in that first Super Bowl because they beat the Patriots twice. They turned around and beat the Patriots again. Played them a few years later, saw them in the Super Bowl, beat them again.
That's why they say Eli Manning undefeated against Tom Brady.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They ain't never played in the regular season against each other?
Now that I think about it, I don't even know. With people saying that. Yeah. I'm finna look that up. How we sitting here?
Jim Harbaugh. I can't believe it, man. Dang, I was hoping somehow, some way. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was just hoping. Somehow, some way, we would get Jim Harbaugh with the Dallas Cowboys.
You know that won't happen. He wanted to go back to where he was, where he had roots at.
Yeah.
He went to the team that drafted him.
You know who he should have went to?
Oh.
Man, he didn't do nothing with San Diego. He did something with Indianapolis. That's what he should have went to, the Colts.
Well, I figured
the Colts they're not. I don't even know who's the coach. Honestly, I don't even know who coaches the Colts.
Regular season.
I do not follow the Indianapolis Colts at all.
Regular season, Eli Manning is 1-2 against Tom Brady. 0-2 in the playoffs. Well, 2-0 in the playoffs. When it really counts.
In the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's the only time they could have seen each other because they're in the opposite conferences.
Yep. That's crazy. Eli Manning. That man's so dull on his podcast. I see why his brother got the electricity. I didn't know Manning Peyton was that electric. They fit each other on their podcast. Eli the laid back.
I ain't watched that podcast in a long time, man. It's been a minute since I watched it.
Yeah, Eli the laid back one. Peyton is the over energetic one.
Who's your top 5 quarterbacks all time?
Pro, college, it don't matter.
I was talking about the NFL, but we can do college too. But I don't know at college because there's so many dudes in college. Like they went on and didn't do anything in the NFL, but they were like college legends, but then they go into the pros and just kind of disappeared.
I don't really have all the time because I didn't watch most of the 90s. So I just got the 2000s.
You always go back to study. That's what everybody else does.
Oh, I haven't studied. So from the 90s, on the 80s, I would say Steve Young. But that's number one.
No, Joe Montana. He played in the 90s too.
I was going to say Joe Montana, but I picked Steve Young over Joe. Steve Young.
I don't know about that one.
Dan Marino.
I don't know about that one. I see them both play. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, Dan Marino. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Steve, Dan. Can't think of no other quarterbacks.
Tom Brady.
Brady. No order, right?
No order. I don't really. I would pick everything else. Everybody else was. I would put Eli Manning up there because he won Super Bowl.
So
one more.
we're gonna just call this the 90s to current best quarterbacks then since.
Yeah, because I don't know beyond that. But
so we're gonna call this 90s to current.
And one more quarterback. I don't know. I would have to say Drew Brees because of my boy. So yeah, I put Drew
Brees.
So Steve Young.
Yeah, I don't know about that order. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna. Well, it wasn't an order, but still, I don't know about. I think you're missing some guys, but my list from 90s all the way today, man, you gotta put Tom Brady on there. Gotta put Brady on there. Who else? Dan the Man, Dan Marino, he's the bomb. Steve Young, gotta put Steve Young in there. Who else? I'm going Peyton Manning. Did you hear the same thing?
He ain't got more rings than his brother though.
Yeah, but he's a better quarterback. No, he got the same amount of rings. He got 2 rings, dog.
Oh yeah, he got 2 rings.
He got 2 rings just like his brother.
Yeah.
Oh man, he just didn't win the other one in his prime, but he still got the ring.
Yeah. Eli should have had 3. But
so I said Dan the Man.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Steve Young,
and Peyton.
Peyton Manning. The other ones it's close, man. I don't know, man. This last one is tough, man. I like Troy. Troy is the most accurate quarterback, but Troy had a lot of weapons, and he did his thing. He got the job done. He won 3 Super Bowls. I don't know. That one tough, man, because I like Brett Favre too. But Brett, he was risky, but Brett he made it happen in the 90s, man. He was nice.
I thought you were going to say Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron was nice, but I really, honestly, I prefer Brett Favre. I really would prefer Brett. Both of them won the same amount of rings. I would take Brett Favre over Aaron Rodgers. Who did he run into? He ran into somebody. Yeah, if Brett Favre didn't run into John Elway and that stacked Broncos team, he had 2 rings. That Broncos team was serious.
Yeah,
that team was Shannon Sharp and John Elway, Ed McCaffrey, Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Woo. That team was nice. And they was like 14-2. It seemed like they were going 14-2 almost every year at the end. At the end, they was stacked.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's so many in the top, man. If I want to just say pure 90s, it'd be a little easier. I don't know. It'll be between Troy, Elway, and I don't know, bro. It's tough. And Brett Favre. That's tough. I don't know. I'm going to say that. Huh?
I didn't think about Elway.
Yeah, John Elway, man. He was the man. Elway was the man. He didn't win the Super Bowl until he was about 38.
I know. Yeah, I heard about it.
That's what made people believe, Dak, you can do it. You can do it, man.
Well, he got 7 more years.
It ain't over, Dak. You can do it, man.
I doubt he win it within them 7 years.
That's all you need is 1 year. They didn't believe John Elway would ever do it. He did it. They were like, he'll never win a Super Bowl. I was like, I remember being a little kid. I was like, man, he gonna win a Super Bowl. Watch, he gonna win one.
But the difference between him and Dak, Elway got a running back. What does Dak have?
Dak did have Ezekiel Elliott, man.
Yeah. What happened to that? He not there.
Oh man, he didn't have him at the end of his career though. Elway had Terrell Davis at the end of his career.
See, it depends on who he get next.
Yeah.
He gonna keep Pollard. They're gonna keep Pollard.
No, they ain't. No, they not because money.
They gotta pay him.
Nah, they don't. He was in the last year of his contract.
Right, what?
His contract just ran up. I don't think
Pollard.
Back. The only way they bringing him back is if they get another running back too.
Why?
They're not gonna let.
Watch what I say.
No, listen what I'm telling you. They're not gonna let Tony Pollard be the full-time running back. If they do bring him back, they're gonna have another running back to complement him. They know he's not a bell cow. He proved this year he can't be a bell cow. He's not a bell cow back. He's a back. He's a complimentary back.
Derrick Henry. They're not bringing Derrick Henry in.
That's the rumor. I don't think so either because they already Jane Slater, and she knows she's in the Cowboys. She knows what's going on under the scenes.
Yeah.
She already said that they're trying to get a quarterback. I don't know if it's now. I could be wrong. Not Jane Slater. Not even quarterback. Not Jane Slater. It might have been somebody else. It was either Jane or somebody in the in the inside knew what was
Yeah.
going on. They said that the Cowboys want to go cheap at running back. I believe Tom Downey mentioned it on Chat Sports. I don't know if you ever watched Chat Sports.
Tony Pollard. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Pollard.
Why you ain't
They're not going to get Pollard unless they get another running back for him to go alongside him. He's not going to be. He definitely not getting $10 million this time. It's not happening.
Yeah.
No, he'll have to take a salary cut. He's not a pay cut. He's not going to get paid that kind of money.
Woo.
And he'll probably only get signed for 1 year if they do bring him back. I don't see that. I think they're going to go with another running back.
Man.
Like I said, if we bring him back, it'll probably be for 1 year deal. And we're going to get another running back. We're not going to just be like, bring it back. Tony Pollard, no other running back. That's not going to happen. They already admitted, the Cowboys and already said that they're looking for another running back to go for the Cowboys. So if he does play, he's not going to be the only back. And it's not going to be Rico Dowdle because Rico might come back, but Rico gets hurt a lot. He's injured a lot. He's not always healthy.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go with a power back this time anyway because we need one. Short yardage situations are not working. Need a power back real bad.
That boy said a power back. Yeah, because y'all sure ain't got it.
Yeah, we had it with Zeke. Zeke had about 12 touchdowns last year. Something like that. Well,
I heard a story where the Cowboys trying to get Zeke back and they was gonna trade like a 6 or 7 round draft pick to the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
It wasn't a trade, it was something else. I know you're talking about. It wasn't trade, couldn't have been trade. Trade deadline pass.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been a trade.
I think it was a sign and release or some type of thing.
It was something going on, but I don't know how it worked. I don't know all the details behind it, but it was something going on. Yeah, and I heard it was blocked.
Yeah, Bill Belichick.
But it wasn't. It couldn't have been a trade because trade deadline already passed. But it was something going on.
Oh yeah. I heard Bill Belichick. He didn't want to do it.
And Bill ain't even with the Patriots no more.
And Zeke still is though.
Nah, Zeke contract ran out.
Yeah,
Zeke contract ran out. He only signed for a 1 year deal.
He might be gone. Well, yeah, he might be finished.
Yeah, his career could be over.
I mean, he had a good.
Elliott, he did a great job for us, man. We had him for a long time. I wish he would have took better care of his body. I felt like he could have lasted a lot longer than he lasted. I felt like he didn't take care of his body the way he should because he would come into training camp a little bit overweight. I believe that happened a couple times. He should have took better care of his body. I felt like he would have been
Jerome Bettis 2.0.
Nah, he ain't gained that much weight.
Nah, I'm just
Jerome, it worked for Jerome because that was kind of like almost seemed like it was his natural size. It worked for Jerome.
I always thought he was a fullback, just playing running back.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But he was more athletic than most fullbacks. Most fullbacks weren't able to move like Jerome Bettis was able to move. He was kind of like a Mike Allstott kind of a back.
Top 5 running backs, 90s to now.
Running backs don't have no long. Right now, running backs do not have longevity, and running backs often get hurt more than they ever get. I don't see running backs taking over. Most teams run a 2-back system because they know injuries happen with the running backs. It's not just because
Someone run 3.
Yeah, 3-headed monster.
Yep.
Running backs in no order. I'm not gonna do order.
Nah, no order.
Let's see, man. There's some good backs.
90s to now.
My boy, Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith. Barry Sanders. I need to watch the Barry Sanders documentary. That thing was. I don't know if you've seen it. You seen the Barry Sanders documentary?
No, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
That thing off the chain, man. My mom was watching. She only watched football like that. We was both watching. She was like, "This is good."
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, you gonna have to watch it. It's cool, man. I really enjoyed it. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is the best pure runner out of the backfield. Even though people like to try to say he's the GOAT, the things I didn't like about Barry, he wasn't a blocker. He couldn't block, and I know for some people, blocking doesn't matter as run, but I believe it matters because if you're trying to
Yeah.
pass the ball, you need that extra time. Your running back coming in, boom, makes that block. That wasn't Barry. He's not a blocker. He was not a great pass catcher, but he was the best pure, I'm going to take it to the house type of running back. He was a dangerous running back. But as far as doing everything else, doing the dirty work, I got to go Emmett on that. So it's Barry, it's Emmett, it's Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is a monster too. People forget Terrell was a monster. His career didn't last that long, unfortunately. Otherwise, his stats would have been a lot. I don't think, honestly, even though I love Terrell Davis, I don't think he should have been in the Hall of Fame because his career didn't last long enough. I feel like TV is why they put him in it was politics that put him in the Hall of Fame. And he was great. He deserved to be a Hall of Fame player if he lasted longer. His career was, unfortunately, it was cut short. But he was one of the best running backs, period. So Emmett, Barry, Adrian Peterson, Adrian Peterson, by the way. Adrian Peterson, Terrell Davis, Adrian Peterson. I like Adrian Peterson, man. He started gaining my respect, man. But I just wish Adrian held on to that ball, man. I was so mad at him, man. That conference, I was so mad at him when they lost that Saints game. I was mad at Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson and my boy played for the Titans, Chris Johnson. That's my top 5 right there.
I got Jerome Bettis, Walter Payton. Well,
he didn't play in the 90s.
He didn't play in the 90s.
You want that? We want to go all the way all the time. I'm changing my list.
No, let me see.
We want to go back to the 80s and stuff. I can tell you some other backs. You already know I'm putting Walter Payton up there. Walter Payton, man, that's
all right.
That might be the GOAT, honestly, because he could do everything: pass, run, block, everything.
I said Jerome Bettis. Let's see. I might say Barry Sanders.
Bettis, Sanders.
Damn. That's a hard one. Now that I think about it. Damn. LaDainian Tomlinson. I
forgot about LT.
Yeah, LaDainian beast.
You know what? LT, what made, I'm gonna keep this. LT, what made him dangerous? I'm gonna tell you what was one of the things that made Emmett dangerous. Emmett would use your speed against you.
Yeah.
But LT was crazy because LT had a little bit more speed, but he would use your speed against you. He would slow himself down and make you, you know what I'm saying? He would use your speed against you. That's what Emmett used to do. Even though Emmett wasn't the fastest, he used your speed against you. If you try to run full speed, you're going to miss trying to hit Emmett. You're not making that tackle running full speed. Notice how he never took hard tackles because if you're going full speed, he's going to make you miss. That's the same thing that LT used to do. You couldn't run full speed at him. And what made him dangerous is both of those guys were end zone threats. They're going to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Emmett had 25 touchdowns in 1 year. That's the record that LT and what's the other boy? Priest Holmes. That's another back.
Yeah.
Both of them broke the record of touchdowns. They went out the Emmett's record because Emmett had 25 touchdowns in 1 year. And they turned around. Priest Holmes and LT broke that record.
Yeah, Ricky Williams.
Ricky, nice.
And
I wouldn't put him on my backs, but yeah, he nice.
yeah, I put him on my back.
His career lasted a little bit longer, maybe, but I can't even put him over Terrell, honestly.
Yeah, I put Emmett in that's 5 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a hard one though. But Jerome Bettis was my dog. I used to watch him growing up. So
yeah, Jerome was nice.
Yeah. Speaking of Jerome.
He's in if you just talking pure 90s and not 2000s, then Jerome Bettis is probably up there he's probably like number 5 or something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked at that. I can go off of it now, but I don't know. I'm not. I'm gonna just go to the next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of good running backs in the 90s too, because it was also Eddie George, who was nice too.
I was gonna say Eddie George, but I put Ricky Williams over Eddie.
Ricky didn't come to the late 90s though. That's why I didn't really just try to put him in the 90s category.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But he can't. Well, he played 1 year in the 90s, 99. Then he came, yeah. Because he came at 98. Came out in 98. Got drafted in 99. Yeah.
That boy almost said all time. He put Walter. I said, hold on, I had to redo. We going all time now. I'm throwing Walter and Jim Brown and
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. You want to take it to a whole other level. Yeah. People don't want to say it, but O.J. Simpson was crazy good.
Oh yeah, I already know. Him and Eric Dickerson, beast.
Oh yeah, Eric Dickerson, yeah.
Yeah, I already know about Eric Dickerson, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. NFL. Oh, you didn't even get to talk about how you feel about Dan Quinn.
I actually did kind of talk about it in that other video. Dan Quinn, I felt like Dan Quinn is the issue is with us. I felt like Dan Quinn was a good coach, but we didn't have the personnel to fit Dan Quinn. We don't have good linebacker core. We're too thin at linebacker. That's not going to be able to stop the run. They can push through anytime. Even though Hankins was a solid defensive tackle, Hankins got hurt. Once Hankins got hurt, our run stopping got worse. And he wasn't fully healthy in that Green Bay game. I don't even think he played a lot of downs in that game. And our run defense got worse. It regressed. It wasn't that good before, but it was showing signs. You know, we had games where all of a sudden the run defense looking like we didn't have Hankins out there. It regressed. Hankins is such a he's a really good, solid defensive tackle. I appreciate what he does at defensive tackle because without him, it seemed like we had a harder time stopping the run. And our linebacker core is too thin. They get pushed around. Once a guard gets out there, they go to the second level. We can't get past them. We're stuck on blocks. We're getting pushed back. Like, that's not, you know. So we had personnel issues. And we were also missing a safety because I don't think J. Ron Kearse was the same player that he was previous year. So I think it was personnel. I don't think it was him coaching. But I do think in Green Bay, he wet the bed. I don't know what happened to that game. He didn't look like first we went through.
He was 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't even at that point. He was like, "Man, when his head coaching job? Hold on, I'm about to get me a head coach." He wasn't thinking about that game, man. He was. You gonna tell me he was fully prepared for that game, man? Please. And then, that man was thinking about the next team that he could get on to.
And then you look at the OC situation. He going with him.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah, Marty Schottenheimer.
I don't even. Well, that's the rumor.
Yeah,
that's to be determined. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because honestly, he might. Only reason why he might is because he doesn't call the plays. Mike McCarthy calls all the plays, so he might look at that like, "Hey, man, I want to call the plays. I don't want to Mike McCarthy to run all the plays." But Mike McCarthy is the reason why he's an OC. Like before, he was the one who promoted him to be the OC. So I don't know. He might leave. He might not leave. I know he's trying to snatch up Al Harris. A lot of people talking about, oh, Al Harris about to leave. I don't know if Al Harris is going to leave because he played for Mike McCarthy. He still feels some loyalty towards Mike McCarthy.
The rumor around Al Harris, he going to Colorado to be defensive coordinator.
He's not going to Colorado.
Yeah.
He's not going to Colorado. Not when he's in Dallas.
Yeah.
Not when he's already in Dallas. He's not going to Colorado. Yeah. Dallas, more than likely. Well, the only way that happens, like I said, if we might not elevate Al Harris, and I'm going to tell you why. And it makes sense not to promote Al Harris, the defensive coordinator. I like Al Harris. The issue is he admitted this. He said this in it was some kind of interview or some kind of segment. He said that he teaches technique, but he doesn't teach scheme. He said he doesn't even really go over the schemes. He goes over the technique. If you're the defensive coordinator, you have to teach scheme too.
Yeah.
You can't just teach technique. So I'm not sure if he's ready yet to be defensive coordinator. But there's also, we have another coordinator. He was the passing game coordinator that was with Dan Quinn. We have Joe Witt. Joe Witt Jr. is also on the staff. He's still on the Cowboys staff. So if he doesn't go to Washington, we can make him to be the defensive coordinator, make him be the full defensive coordinator because he knows all the scheme. He knows everything that Dan Quinn did. He's going to have to see it from his eyes, though, and make in-game adjustments from his eyes. And I don't know how he's going to do that because he's not Dan Quinn. But
Yeah.
He's going to take the same schemes that we used, and he's going to continue it. So it could either be Witt or it could be Harris. I know Trayvon Diggs just came out publicly and he said he wanted Al Harris to be the defensive coordinator, but I don't know if Al is ready to run the schemes like that. I don't know. He teaches technique. He doesn't teach schemes. Now you telling him, boom, now you got to teach schemes, bro. Now we want you to teach schemes and technique. So I don't know if he's ready for that. I don't know if he's prepared for that yet or not.
And we shall see, bro.
Yeah.
See, but shit. Yeah, man. I'm gonna hang it up though. I'm getting tired. Time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, all right then, man.
It was.
I was gonna ask another question. I guess I'll say that question for the next podcast.
Save it. Yeah,
when the next podcast gonna be, man? Saturday?
Yeah, we could do it Saturday night. I don't work Saturday, so.
All right, man. God bless them, man.
You too, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, y'all, man. God bless y'all. We're talking Cowboys. We're talking NFL. Now we out of here. Y'all take care. God bless y'all. Peace. Go Cowboys.